IVM.
Hello and welcome to Football Twaddle. International week is upon us, and that means I am sitting alone in the studio. My two co-conspirators in this podcast, they feel so happy when there's International week that they don't even have to come to studio. Baru is up in the hills.
Attending a wedding.
Yeah, up in the hills attending a wedding, and Kumar Kanav is doing this on the phone.
I'm packing my bags to go to the same wedding.
What's up, Kanav? How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm especially happy, with the way the last week has gone.
What do you mean?
Arsenal had such a great game, and it was finally, you could see the Emery style, finally clicking in. We have Torreira.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll address this when we come to it.
Yes, okay. Let's start with the game which was supposed to be the game which was going to showcase the Premier League to the world, the two best teams in the land and all of that, and it basically turns out to be a really boring 0-0 draw. Liverpool versus Manchester City.
So basically it did showcase the Premier League to the world.
It was boring.
Yeah.
Okay, first things first. How were you surprised with how defensive City and even Liverpool played actually?
Liverpool's lineup I could not understand, to be honest. They played three at the back, right?
Yeah, but the way they played it looked like there were 6-7 of them at times. So.
Yeah. No, I think both of them were being careful. Again, they know that they have the strength to beat any of the other teams in the league. So it was tactically, if you consider, the league, it's a good move, I think, just to, not take too many chances, just to play out a draw.
Yeah.
And it could have, easily gone the other way if Mahrez had not missed that penalty.
What do you make of all this, about Mahrez penalty and City? Why did they give Mahrez the penalty? Why couldn't Gabriel Jesus take? Like Pep Guardiola basically said, you know what, I asked Mahrez to take it and he missed it. Yeah, whatever.
No, but Mahrez does not have a good penalty record. And he's missed even before this one, he had missed 3 of his last 5 penalties.
Yeah, that brings me to the question. City, for all the attacking nows that they have, they don't seem to be really good at taking penalties. Like David Silva's taken, I think last was 4 or 5 years ago. And then you have, if Sergio Aguero is not there, they really don't have a proper penalty taker.
So if Aguero is on the pitch, he's, the first choice, and he has a very good record also. Probably Jesus would have taken it.
But even he missed few.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and again, KDB is out. Probably he's one of the penalty takers.
And we are talking about this Mahrez penalty so much because there's nothing else in that game to talk about.
Yeah, it was a very boring game, that's true.
Yeah, so who do you think would be happier with 1 point, City or Liverpool?
I think, with the way the game ended, obviously Liverpool, they could have easily, lost it after that penalty was given.
Yeah, man, what happened to the Salah, Mane and Firmino? Are those guys tired or is it not gelling that well? What's going on there? They've not scored a goal for 4 matches, all the 3 of them, any of the 3 of them.
I think Mane scored. Mane was the last one to score out of these 3.
But that was 4 matches ago, that was.
Yeah, Salah had an exceptional season. Obviously, it was going to be difficult to replicate it.
Or is it a case of they played too much football and now they're tired and they can't press the way they were pressing last year?
No, but see, overall as a squad, Liverpool is still, so the press is still there. They're still playing well. It's just that, like you see, Wijnaldum is scoring.
Yeah.
So there are other people popping up in goal scoring areas and, getting those goals instead of, so, what we thought from so much dependence on Salah, they would get spread out between Firmino, Salah and Mane, which happened for the first 3-4 games.
Yeah.
But now even that has, spread across even more.
Man, they're not scoring, if you look at the last...
they've not been prolific like that, not scoring. Like last season, almost every game it seemed like Liverpool would end up scoring 3 goals. With Salah getting 2 at least.
Or you think they're missing Philippe Coutinho off late now with Naby Keita not fully fit?
No, I don't think so.
No?
I think, no, not Coutinho. I think they have, the front 3 is one of the best in the league. And they should be getting those goals. And I'm sure they will very soon get back to there. Because it's, you can tie down Salah probably as a defense, put 2 people on him. But then that frees up space for Mane and Firmino. So it's too good an attacking force to be not performing as such.
Yeah. A couple of weeks on the podcast, we discussed the run of Liverpool's games. Yeah. And they were like twice Chelsea, Napoli. Before that was PSG. And then they're going to play City and all. And we're like, oh, this is going to be so tough. In the last 4 games, basically they've lost 1, lost 2 and drawn 2. So you think by end of October, Liverpool is there a genuine possibility that, Liverpool, if they continue playing this way, and PSG over the last 3 weeks have picked up quite well, that they could probably be looking at 3rd place in the Champions League group as well?
I think, but again, the Champions League, so Napoli drew their first game.
Yeah.
Before beating Liverpool. So if Napoli had probably won that game, they had more chances, but they've already drawn against, the weakest team in the group.
Yeah.
And Liverpool beating PSG was again something which, on the pure merit of it, it would count as an upset. So I think Liverpool have won a game they were expected to lose and lost a game they were expected to win.
No.
They're probably on track right now.
Yeah.
It would have been in trouble if, Napoli had won both their games.
Yeah.
But I think Liverpool and PSG will still go through.
Okay, enough of that. It was quite a bad game. Enough of that, and let's talk about the form team in the Premier League, which is, after a long time, the Arsenal.
Yeah, so,
Come on, be excited. Don't do yasso.
This was the first game I was really excited to watch.
What do you mean?
No, they were gelling so well. They attack.
You wouldn't know that before the game. So what do you mean this is the first game I was excited to watch?
I mean, when I was watching, I was really enjoying it. Because earlier what has been happening, even though we were getting the results, the performances, especially in the first half, were not there.
Yeah.
Even right now, in terms of XG versus actual goals scored, Arsenal is on a plus of 8.4. compared to their XG, what the goals they were expected to score. So they're overperforming right now.
Okay. No, I didn't understand that. What does that mean? That means that they were supposed to score or concede 8 more goals?
No, it was expected to score 8 less goals.
What?
In pure terms of chances created.
Really? So they're scoring goals of not chances created?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so, played really well, especially with Mkhitaryan and Iwobi starting. So we finally have players playing out wide. What is happening, when we're starting Lacazette, Aubameyang, Ramsey and Ozil, which is, the top 4 he was going for, the front 4 he was going for in the last few games. All of these players are central players. None of them like to play wide, and if you see the groupings, the player groupings, all of them would end up occupying the same space near the middle of the pitch.
Yeah.
Which is impacting a play. Now Mkhitaryan likes to stay out wide, Iwobi likes to stay out wide, so we got in much more width into the attack this time.
Yes, but Ozil was out of the game due to a back spasm. What's up with this back spasm? Doesn't he have a lot of back spasms?
He has a lot of illnesses, but I think on the whole,
especially when he's
playing better than better with Ozil not in the team.
Yeah. And let's talk about the goal of the season by all accounts, which is...
That has to be. That was such a brilliant build-up and goal.
What was that goal, man? Aaron Ramsey's...
No, this reminded me of, the Wilshere goal against Norwich.
Yeah. That was long ago, right?
Yeah, I think 4-5 years ago now. 2011-12 it was. But that was, much more, tiki-taka, one touch, very near the box. This was way more expansive, from the back to the front in the flash. And some 17 seconds it took from getting the ball to Ramsey finishing it.
Yeah, that was such a beautiful goal to watch. It was amazing. There's no way on earth Fulham could have anticipated something like that to happen.
And the best part was, you could see Arsenal, there were 2 half 50-50s in there where Arsenal players went for the header and got the ball, which is exciting to watch. It's not something Arsenal would do under Wenger.
Yeah. Let's talk about Aaron Ramsey a little. What's the deal with him? What's going on there?
So, the deal with Ramsey is that he was offered a contract by the club which has now been withdrawn.
Withdrawn?
Yeah, by the club. So, Ramsey was ready to sign on those terms. But now the club has withdrawn that offer.
Really? I read the deal to the contrary that Ramsey wanted about some 15 million per year.
No, so they had agreed on a deal, but now the club has withdrawn the offer because, okay, I think I can understand where they're coming from. 250,000 is a big chunk of money for someone who's 28, and if you give him a 5-year contract, you tie down around $52 million in terms of fees, which is something I think Emre thinks that he can invest it better in the squad. But there's been too much of a clean up with the club, so as a fan, I don't like it.
But wait. So there was a contract which Ramsey was ready to sign.
So earlier they were negotiating, then finally they agreed on a particular amount.
Yeah.
But then the club decided that they withdrew the offer at those terms. They decided not to offer it to Ramsey.
Oh, so our man didn't get the opportunity to sign that contract as well.
Yeah.
So it's pretty sure that he's going to leave the club, or are they going to renegotiate to lesser terms?
No, I think Ramsey's agent has come out and spoken about it.
Is he in the last year of his contract?
Yeah, this is the last year of his contract.
Oh, so Aaron Ramsey is gone probably in Jan or in June.
Yeah.
How can you let him go after that goal? Don't you think that goal was enough to convince anyone that Ramsey has an important part to play for Arsenal?
Emery has a particular plan in his head, and if he thinks he can invest that money better.
Yeah, but what about academy player, Hamara Ladka and all of that?
Okay, can say Ramsey was not an academy player, but yes, he's been at the club for over 10 years now.
So he's from 18, right? And that was a big deal. Dude, what's going on there? Are you safe, Kanav?
I think as fans we are. So, there was this, 5 years ago, there was this huge contract signing.
Yeah.
Where, with the British core, when we signed 6 British players on a contract together.
Yeah.
And, if Ramsey goes, there will only be one player left out of that group. And do you want to take a guess who that is?
Wait. Chamberlain is gone. Ramsey will go. Wilshere is gone.
I'll help you out. Walcott is gone.
So who's the fifth guy?
Carl Jenkinson.
Oh God, is he not in? He's still there.
Yes, he's still there. Even Gibbs was there.
Kieran Gibbs.
Yeah, Gibbs was the first one to leave. But now, out of the British score of 6, Jenkinson will be the last one remaining.
Is he not on loan somewhere, Carl Jenkinson?
No, nobody took him on loan also this season.
So what's he doing? And he's in the first team squad.
Yeah,
that's some faith.
He's our third choice right back.
Third choice right back. Who are the first two? Bellerin, and second is
Lichtsteiner.
Oh my God! So what's Carl Jenkinson? He's getting money at the end of every month, so. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, so what's up with Arsenal, dude? Are they 6 wins in Premier League in a row, 9 wins in total in a row? The whole juggernaut is moving along now.
No, but again, let's not overhype it. It's been an easy run as well.
Yeah, but what do you mean easy run up? You beat you beat the people in front of you, right?
Yeah, but now the people in front of us now are the ones we are looking to beat. To be actually considered as title contenders.
Yeah, but having said all that, Arsenal beat Everton. Everton, whatever said and done, they blasted Arsenal for first half, but still Arsenal hung on and won the match. So
yeah, this has happened. Like I was saying, we've hung around quite a bit in the first half of games.
Yeah.
Just ridden our lucks.
All right. Anyway, I don't see. You must be jumping with joy, with all optimism and stuff. You seem so subdued about it.
I've been through this, way many times before.
All right. Why don't you hang around a bit? We go take a break right now. And after the break, we talk about the game of the weekend, which is Manchester United Newcastle. And we talk about John Terry. Stay tuned to Football Twaddle.
So it's been another great week on IVM Podcast, just like it is every week. If you aren't following us on social media, you should. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Send us a message. Send us a comment. Let us know what you think about the stuff that we're doing and the stuff that you're listening to. This week on Cyrus Says, Cyrus is joined by writer Vrishali Telang. She speaks about jumping from TV to books and her memories of producing MTV Loveline. On the Scene and the Unseen, Amit is joined by founder-editor of The Wire, Siddharth Bhatia, and senior editor of The Hindu, Peter Griffin. They discuss the current state of Indian media and the role of journalists today. This week, Indranil Guha, co-founder of FinPeg, talks to Anupam on Paisa Vaisa about alpha SIPs. Last week on Know Your Kanun, lawyer and host Amber Rana took us through the history and scope of Section 497 and the time when adultery was first recognized as an offense. On the Kinetic Living podcast, Urmi spoke to IVM's co-founder Kavita Rajwade about her love for functional training, food, and the morning workout routine that she strictly follows. And again, guys, I just really want to remind you, the best way to spread the word about podcasting is you. You're our ambassadors. Please go out and tell a friend. Ask them to listen to something that you have enjoyed and that you think that they would enjoy as well. And with that, let's move on with your show.
Hello and welcome back to Football Twaddle. I still have Kanav with me on the phone. Kanav?
Hey.
God, why? Don't get into holiday mode for another 15 minutes yet.
It's the international break.
Oh God, hey. Stop it. Don't act woke. Alright, let's talk about Manchester United versus Newcastle. So let me recap the entire thing. On Friday night, a report comes out which says that Mourinho is going to be sacked irrespective of the result against Newcastle. And then the match starts. And if you saw his Friday press conference, it seemed like even he knew what was going to happen. And then the match starts. Newcastle, who had not scored more than one goal in any game, take a lead of 2-0 after 10 minutes. And Manchester United, after like 60 minutes or after 45, get to a formation of 1-6-2, something like that. And they somehow miraculously pull off a 3-2 victory, hence saving his job probably for the next few weeks at least. How was that whole roller coaster ride, Kanav?
I was just having so much fun looking at Mourinho throughout the time. I was watching Mourinho more than I was watching the game.
Yes, but you were having so much fun. What did you think after the game then?
No, we've all been everyone saying, we want Mourinho to stick around because it's too much fun having him in press conferences,
Dude, his press conference...
Blasting his players, blasting the media, blaming everyone else.
He's not done that. If you see last 3-4 weeks, he's not blasted he's not told anything about the players.
He said about Pogba, he said about Bailly and Smalling for the penalty, Jones for the penalties.
Yeah, they were so bad.
Yeah.
What did you say?
You have to take off your Mourinho love glasses before we get into the discussion.
Dude, I think he will basically go at some point. I don't know when.
Yeah, everyone knows.
I could have.
He will not go. He will be sacked.
He'll be asked to go.
Like every other club he's been at.
No.
Yes.
That's not true. Inter Milan he was not. And Real Madrid, his contract got over.
That is being asked to go.
Yeah. And Chelsea first time around, there's he said, she said still. But yeah, irrespective of all that, he would not have been at the club. We know that. We still think that is going to happen. But the whole thing, that last 20 minutes, whatever happened to them, I thought they were just going to just give up and say, whatever, man, let him go.
This is like, I've always maintained that, United are not a bad squad. They're not as bad as Mourinho makes them out to be.
Sure, but
it is a good bunch of players. No, what sure.
No,
and when the team wants to attack, look at what they did in the last 20 minutes. But they're not given the freedom to do that under Mourinho.
Really, that's kind of bullshit, no? They were losing other games also. I don't know what happened. I genuinely, you can understand people not playing to their potential or even playing 20% lesser. But what happened last 20 minutes? They suddenly felt this emotional pangs. What went
No, I think it was the crowd which lifted them more than anything else.
Dude, the crowd was nothing great until Mata's goal. Till Mata's goal. Till Mata's goal, they were quite subdued.
So the last 20 minutes is when they picked up. Mata scored in the 70th minute.
Yeah.
So I'm saying the crowd lifted them in the last 20 minutes.
Yeah. So let's look at the people who probably saved Mourinho from his job. Paul Pogba, Anthony Martial, Juan Mata, and Alexis Sanchez. Probably his tough love works,
No, but again, no, it doesn't work. So
I know it doesn't. I'm just making some stupid
look at
point.
What you're doing to your defenders. You start with a back three.
Yeah.
You put in inexperienced Tomine in defense. And
what are you going on about? He didn't start with a back three. He started with Eric Bailly and Chris Smalling. And
Tomine was playing in the back.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't playing in the back. No, he wasn't playing in the back three.
Yes, he was.
Then Eric Bailly was yanked out, and this guy,
Tomine was top. Yeah, so
then McTominay was Why?
No,
Because I'll tell you, this guy had a whole theory on it. What's that keeper? Peter Schmeichel had a theory that yanking out like a 18-year-old McTominay after 18 minutes would have damaged his career way more than what probably would have happened to Bailly. And anyway, Mourinho doesn't like Bailly.
Like Mourinho cares about people's careers.
I don't, but then, no, he obviously doesn't. He was saving his own career there.
I know.
But whatever happened there...
No, this is how you destroy people's careers. This is a defender whom you ridicule game after game. Saying that we underperformed because I was not given funds to replace Bai, which is a player you bought in last year. And Bai is young and he's good.
No, he's not.
He is.
Dude, he plays 20 minutes of every game he blanks out. He's not really very good.
You have to let go of your bias. Dude.
No, dude, genuinely, I like Phil Jones. So what bias are you talking about?
Your Mourinho bias is showing.
How? Because I like Phil Jones and not Eric Bailly.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. Anyway, so how long do you think he has now after Newcastle? You actually think that something good may come of this, or it's just prolonging the inevitable?
It's just prolonging the inevitable. I think they're just trying to find the right replacement. But before making any steps, they can't give it to Giggs for half the season, like three-fourths of the season,
and they'll actually be in a relegation battle.
Yeah.
But having said all that, when he got fired from Chelsea the last time around, and this time to Manchester United, I mean, his approach may not seem the same, but I think at least that time with Chelsea it was so bad, dude. We were losing every game almost, and Chelsea was in the 16th position. In November, whatever, and at least Manchester United every now and then are winning something. I don't know if he changes a little,
But we all know he's not going to change.
Yeah, or if the players change and are bent according to his will, we don't know what may come up. But that game seemed like all his enemies were out to get him. First was Pellegrini, whom he used to keep calling Pellegrino. And then Benitez.
I think Benitez screwed up, man.
Yeah, so Benitez, poor guy. If there's a club which is more useless than Manchester United in terms of how the club is run, it's Newcastle.
Yeah, Newcastle. That's what we were discussing in the last week's podcast.
Yes. And so Manchester United basically somehow win 3-2. And that probably next game is against Chelsea. So let's see what happens there. That's going to be so much fun. What do you think is going to happen, Kanav, there?
I think Chelsea are on a good run of form. They're playing really well.
Yeah.
So Mourinho has no chance.
We thought the same about Newcastle.
No, I said Newcastle were going to win. I said they were going to beat Newcastle.
Yeah, dude. They should have much more easily. Anyway, talking about that, let's move to John Terry. John Terry has finally announced retirement from international football, club football.
He tried to, extend his career with
Aston Villa,
but it didn't turn out really well for him.
Yeah, poor guys. They had to fire their manager also now, Steve Bruce. But so let's talk a little about John Terry. How much did you hate John Terry?
I didn't hate him. He was a good defender. Definitely, I think top 3 in the Premier League.
Let's list down who are the best defenders in this Premier League era. If you had to randomly pick a list of 6 defenders, who would they be?
In the Premier League era, I would go for, I think, Vidic,
Rio
and Terry.
So pick a few more. Who else? Who are the comparables to John Terry?
I think Company for the first few years was up there.
Do you think Jamie Carragher?
Not so much. I think probably a league below these 4 that I've just mentioned.
To just go through John Terry's Premier League record, he's won 5 Premier Leagues. He was made Chelsea's captain when Mourinho came aboard the first time. He was really young then. He was 22, 23. And for a man to win 5 Premier League titles, FA Cups, League Cups, 1 Champions League, Europa League, that's a pretty amazing career he's had.
It is. And this was, just around the time when Chelsea were...
this was right after the Invincible season.
Yeah. And I think he's done really well.
Is there anything more in praise, Kanav, or are you finding words hard to praise a Chelsea legend? Captain, leader, legend.
Racist.
What? How is he a racist?
He's a Chelsea player.
Whatever. Yeah. So, do you think John Terry was given as much credit as being a good defender, or
Yes, he was, definitely.
or was he considered the last ditch tackle, the guy who dives
No,
in front
no,
of the
no.
ball and saves?
No, but I think his last ditch tackles were the best. I think he was a very different style of defender than Rio and Vidic, but he was clearly effective and he was very good at what he did.
Man,
there's no denying that.
The names you've taken right now, like Rio, Vidic, Terry, and I would put Carvalho, and even if you take your Arsenal guys like Tony Adams and others, I look at the defending then. I don't know who are the good defenders in Premier League these now. Like Alderweireld.
Alderweireld is definitely good, yes.
Yeah,
I think Koscielny was good before
injury.
Before his injury, yeah.
Yeah, so other than Alderweireld, let's take only the top 6 teams or teams which finished top 6 last season. In that, who is a good defender?
Jones and Smalling have hung around for long enough.
Yeah, they've had careers as long as John Terry, probably. Yeah, but there's no good defenders. There's like a dearth of good defenders in Premier League right now. Don't you think?
Yeah, I think, and now you look at the prices. I think Van Dijk has the potential to get at these guys' level.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I don't know. Stones is, I think, still too raw.
Too young, too raw.
Yeah, Maguire has had just one good season.
That's it, right? So imagine those were the good old days of defending. Anyway, John Terry leaves the football scene. There's a rumor that the combination of John Terry and Thierry Henry are in talks to take over the management of Aston Villa.
Yeah, but I think Henry has been linked with 3-4 jobs this year already.
But imagine Terry plus Henry. What's going to happen in that?
It's going to be a monumental disaster.
Yeah, okay, fine. Let's quickly round up a few other matches. Wolves continuing their amazing run of form, beating Crystal Palace 1-0. That team doesn't give up at all. Doherty, Rui Patricio, they're doing so well. And then...
Yeah, and obviously, and Doherty is an up-and-coming star.
Yes, and then Bournemouth, 5th in the table. Who would have thought Bournemouth is 5th in the table? They beat Watford.
Did.
I did. Dude, they're such a good team. Especially after last season's. They had a lot of trouble last season. But again, they won another 4-0 game, Bournemouth, after losing to Burnley 4-0. So that they are 5th. They're doing quite well. Everton, again, good run of form. Richarlison. And I told you guys, Sigurdsson is going to score. He's in a good run of form. Look what happened. He scored the goal of the game or goal of the week till Ramsey turned up.
Yeah.
And Everton are looking up good under Marco Silva certainly. And you're the team which none of us really care much about. Tottenham beat Cardiff 1-0.
Yeah, Tottenham, I think this was a game where probably expected them to score a lot more. Especially, after Cardiff got a red card.
Yeah, but then, Tottenham disappoints us all, not just their fans. And the last game we need to talk about is Southampton 0, Chelsea 3. Chelsea are on a roll.
And Chelsea.
For some reason, Arsenal suddenly, they're like, oh, they're in a run of 9 games. This something good is going to happen. Liverpool and City are then Mourinho's problems at United. Chelsea somehow seem to be under the radar all the time. And they're raking up the wins. They're top of the table. And even Morata is scoring.
Yeah, that's the biggest, positive to come out of it. They've brought in Morata back in form.
Yeah, he scored he scored during the week. He scored over the weekend. I think he's just scoring too many goals. Do you think this will be the season Hazard's going to score 40 goals?
No, not 40, but yeah, he's definitely going to be right up there in terms of player of the season contender.
Will Hazard score the amount of goals he's scoring? Do you think he will actually probably get the golden boot as well?
Depends if Kane ever decides to wake up.
Dude, yeah, there are always 2-3 weeks in which Kane scores 3 hat-tricks and he's already up 9 goals. Yeah, so who going to the second international break right now? There's Liverpool, City, Arsenal and Chelsea. So who do you think has the best chance to win the Premier League right now among these 4 teams?
It has to be City, I think.
Still?
Yes.
They lost to Lyon. They drew with Liverpool. They didn't even attack Liverpool much. They had 2 shots on goal. Why would you think they are better than Chelsea or Liverpool to win the league?
Because they still have De Bruyne out. And I think there's just too much strength on the bench to sustain over a long season.
Interesting. Anyway, it's the international week now, so we have like basically at least a week of just watching random international games, even though
They're not random international games anymore.
Yes, I know, but there's no pressure as such. So what are your plans during the week other than watching the not random international games? Attend a wedding and come back.
That is enough plans.
All right, man. So next week you're in the studio, right?
Yes.
Alrighty. Bye, Kanav.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Alright, listeners, on that note, please follow us on Twitter @FootyTwaddle, Facebook and Instagram FootballTwaddle, and please make sure you rate us on iTunes. And this is Saru signing off on this week's Football Twaddle.
Yeah. It's IVM here, let's go. We the IVM kids on the block over here. Just to talk, taking a break from producing all day. Coming on this podcast cause we got stuff to say. IVM Daily is the name of the show. Monday to Friday, we ready to go. Talking about stuff in our head. We might even talk about our favorite bread. Signing out, it's IVM here, the podcast network that's in your ear.
Catch IVM Daily, Monday to Friday on the IVM Podcast app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Did you know that Parsis in Mumbai, instead of being left at the Tower of Silence after they die, are now cremated? And why? Because a cow fell sick in the early 1990s. Did you know that the smog in Delhi is caused by something that farmers in Punjab do and that there's no way to stop them? Did you know that there wasn't one gas tragedy in Bhopal, but 3? One of them was seen, but 2 were unseen. Did you know that many well-intentioned government policies hurt the people they're supposed to help? Why was demonetization a bad idea? How should GST have been implemented? Why are all our politicians so corrupt when not all of them are bad people? I'm Amit Verma, and in my weekly podcast, The Seen and the Unseen, I take a shot at answering all these questions and many more. I aim to go beyond the scene and show you the unseen effects of public policy and private action. I speak to experts on economics, political philosophy, cognitive neuroscience, and constitutional law so that their insights can blow not only my mind, but also yours. The Seen and the Unseen releases every Monday. So do check out the archives and follow the show at seenunseen.in. You can also subscribe to The Seen and the Unseen on whatever podcast app you happen to prefer.